Okay, so we're going to take a look at graphing a parabola with a vertical directrix. So if you've been watching the other videos, the previous videos to this, you know that if the directrix is vertical, then the parabola has to open left or right, right? Because the opening is perpendicular to the direction of the directrix. So this is a parabola that opens left or right, and we can also tell that by the fact that the y is the squared one. Okay, so that's going to tell me it's not a function. It's going to be an left or right opening parabola. So let's go ahead and just get right down to it. Is it going to be left or right? Well, we see that this right here, this position there, that's A, and A is 1. Okay, while we're at it, let's go ahead and get our B. B is -4. And then C, because there is no constant, is 0. So it's going to be opening the normal way that we would open, which would be to the right. Because A is positive, it's going to be opening to the right. Okay? So let's take a look at the vertex. It says to find the vertex. So the vertex, in this case, wouldn't be x equals -b over 2a. It would be y equals negative, oh, goodness gracious, -b over 2a. Okay? So y equals -b over 2a, and let's see what we get. -b, that's -4 over 2 times 1. We get 4 over 2, and we get 2. Okay, so now this means that y is 2. Okay, y is 2 of for the vertex, right? So my vertex, y is 2. Don't make a mistake and put that in the x. We didn't find the x, we found y. So now we're going to go ahead and put that in the original equation, right? We're going to put that in the original equation and find out what x is. So we have 2 squared minus 4 times 2. And that gives us, what does that give us? -4? Okay, so we'll put that back over here. So my vertex is -4, 2. Check. Right? Now we want to know what the axis of symmetry is. Well, this is a left-right opening. My axis of symmetry is I'm going to write this A of S. My axis of symmetry is y equals 2, right? It's a horizontal line of symmetry, okay, because this is opening left-right. Okay, and let's see what else it wants. So we have our axis of symmetry. Let's take a look at our y-intercepts. Well, we know that to get the y-intercepts, we know that to get y-intercepts, we need to make the x a 0. So let's make the x a 0, and we get y squared minus 4y. Well, back in your algebra days, you remember, algebra 2 days, you remember that that's solved by factoring. So let's factor out the common factor. And then we use the zero product property, and we find that y is 0 or y is 4. Okay, there are two y-intercepts. Let's find our x-intercept. Our x-intercept is found by setting y equal to 0, or making y 0. So we get x is equal to 0 squared minus 4 times 0, and you can see that x is going to be 0. Great. So let's go back up and see what else they want. We want to know what the focus is and the directrix. Now we need that. We get the focus and the directrix by knowing what the p is. Well, we get the p by knowing what the a is, right? Because the a is 1 over 4p. Well, in this case, our a is 1. So we write this equal to that. And then I'm just going to solve for p. So I'm going to put that over 1 and do cross product. So basically I get 4p is equal to 1, and I get p is a fourth. Alright, so I have my p. And probably I'm going to go ahead and take a look at sketching kind of a rough picture. We're not finished getting all the information they wanted us to get, but let's go ahead and begin to put some of this on the graph. I have a vertex at negative 4, 2. So I'm going to go negative 4, 2 is my vertex. There it is. I know that this thing opens to the right. Okay, if it opens to the right, now this is what's going to help me find my focus. If my focus is a fourth away, from my vertex and it opens to the right, then my focus has to be right here. Okay, so this right here, that's my focus, a fourth away. So let's name that point. We can name that point, can't we? So let's go ahead and name that point. Go ahead and call it, make it blue. So my focus is at over, not all the way over to negative 4. It's over negative 3 3/4, right? Just a fourth shy. And then it's up, what? What was the other one up? The vertex was up 2, so the focus has to be up 2. Okay, it has to be in line with that. Okay, so there's my vertex, my focus, and then my directrix, right? My directrix is is a fourth of the way on the other side, and so it's looking kind of like this, like a fourth of the way from the vertex, right? Well, if I went over 4, negative 4 to get to the vertex, then I need to go over negative 4 1/4, and that's going to be the line x is equal to negative 4 1/4. I'm kind of squeezing that in there. So there's my directrix. Okay. Now, the very last thing that they want us to do is to, okay, we got the directrix and there's the focus. The very last thing they want us to do, we got the y-intercepts there. Very last thing they want us to do is to find several other points on the parabola and then sketch. So I'm going to make just a table of values. They want us to find a few more points, so we're going to. Here we go, make my table of values. Oops. So I have an x, y. And now be careful about this because I'm actually going to put in my y first, right? Because my equation looks like this, y squared minus 4y, right? So I'm going to go, okay, put a 1 in, and that's going to tell me what x is, right? So x is going to be the output, basically. So we have 1 minus 4, and that's going to be a negative 3. So you notice how I'm doing this backwards. When you're doing it left-right opening, you're going to set up your table backwards. So the next number I want to go ahead and put in is I'm going to find out what's happening at negative 1. I'm looking at this going, I'd like to know what's going on right about there, right? Right about there. So I'm going to put in a negative 1. So x is negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1. And I get that x is a 5. Okay, so there are a couple of more points, so I'm going to put those on my graph, and then I'm going to sketch as smooth a curve as I can. So, negative 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, negative 3, 1. That looks pretty good. It looks like it's in line with what I think the opening is going to be doing. Over 5, negative 1. There's that point there. Okay, I think I have enough to go ahead and sketch. I know there's my vertex. I know, oops, forgot my x and y intercepts. There's my x and y intercept of 0. I also have a y-intercept of what? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my picture's off just a teeny bit. But okay, so there are my intercepts. I forgot to put those on. So looks okay though. Kind of need to make it as curved as we can. There are no straight lines on a parabola. So there's that, and there's that. It goes out, out, out. Groovy? Very groovy. All right, let's see if we've gotten everything they wanted. Got a couple of extra points. Find several other points on the parabola and sketch the graph. All right, there it is. We followed the directions. I think we've gotten everything they've asked us to find. Thanks for watching.